Hey everyone, it's Stratus here, and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II weapon history video. And today it's about the BAR, or the Browning Automatic Rifle. Now, the Browning Automatic Rifle is a family of American automatic rifles and machine guns used by the United States and numerous other countries during the 20th century. The primary variant of the BAR consists of the M1918, chambered for the 30-06 Springfield rifle cartridge and designed by John Browning in 1917. By the U.S. Expeditionary Corps in Europe as a replacement for the French-made Shot and the M1909 Benet Mercier machine guns that U.S. forces had previously been issued. The BAR was designed to be carried by infantrymen during an assault advance while supported by the sling over the shoulder, or to be fired from the hip. This is a concept called walking fire, thought to be necessary for the individual soldier during trench warfare. The BAR never entirely lived up to the original hopes of the War Department as either a rifle or a machine gun, which it kind of makes sense because it's an automatic rifle but only has a 20-round clip. I mean, the U.S. Army in practice used the BAR as a light machine gun, often fired from a bipod introduced on models after 1938. A variant of the original M1918 BAR, the Colt Monitor machine rifle, remains the lightest production automatic gun to fire the 30-06 Springfield cartridge, though the limited capacity of its standard 20-round magazine tended to hamper its utility in that role. Although the weapon did see some action in World War I, the BAR did not become standard issue for the U.S. Army until 1938, when it was issued to squads as a portable light machine gun. The BAR saw extensive service in both World War II and the Korean War, and saw limited service in the Vietnam War. The U.S. Army began phasing out the BAR in the late 1950s, when it was intended to be replaced by the Squad Automatic Weapon, or SAW, variant of the M14, and was without a portable light machine gun until the introduction of the M60 machine gun in 1957. The M60, however, was a really general-purpose machine gun, or GPMG, and was used as assault only because the Army had no other tool for the job until the M249 squad assault weapon in the mid-1980s. So this gun was used in World War I, World War II, the Second Sino-Japanese War, the Chinese Civil War, the Indonesian National Revolution, the Hook-Balahop Rebellion, the Korean War, the Palestinian Civil War, the First Indochina War, the Bay of Pigs invasion, Vietnam War, Laotian Civil War, Cambodian Civil War, Lebanese Civil War, the Turkish invasion of Cyprus, and the Thai-Laotian Border War. Again, this gun was developed by John Browning in 1917, and it was produced from 1917 to 1945 with 102,174 units of the M1918 alone. There was over 300,000 other units produced for different variants. Now, for the M1918, which is one that we use in Call of Duty World War II, it was a whopping 15.98 pounds or 7.25 kilograms, so definitely a heavier weapon considering that it only has a 20-round clip. Could you imagine if that thing had like a 50-round magazine or something like that? Whew! And then the cartridge, as I said earlier, was the 30-06 Springfield. This gun could fire 500 to 650 rounds per minute with a muzzle velocity of 860 meters per second. It had an effective firing range of 100 to 1,500 yards and a maximum firing range of 4,500 to 5,000 yards. And it had a 20-round detachable box magazine. One thing that I find interesting about this gun is a select fire, and just like most other guns that are rifles, with the exception of the M1 Garand, the M1A1 carbine, and the ST or the SVT, the guns that are automatic are typically select fire. And for whatever reason, Call of Duty does not let you use this as a select fire weapon, because that would just increase the range and allow you to pick people off a little easier if they're a little further away. I noticed that Battlefield 1 does this real well. Any gun that was select fire, they give you the option to select fire it, but I suppose that Call of Duty's maps are not near as big as Battlefield, so I guess that might be why. And pretty much up to World War II, between the time that it was first designed and then, This gun had been widely used by law enforcement, is famous for being known to have killed Bonnie and Clyde, from all the police officers just riddling their car full of holes with the BAR. And then it had also been it had been widely used by civilians up until about World War II, because they were needing guns, as many guns as they could, to be shipping overseas for Europe and Japan and stuff like that for those conflicts. So after that, civilian ownership of the BAR went down. So now that we've talked about the weapon history, let's get on to my personal thoughts about this gun, using it in Call of Duty. So this is before they have released the patch for the BAR, but it is definitely overpowered. It melts people up close, it melts people at long range. It's definitely overpowered. It's a very easy gun to get a lot of kills with. That being said, however, that kind of gives you a little bit of variety of attachments that you can use on there. And with it being an automatic rifle, I prefer to use foregrips. That way it helps reduce recoil, obviously. And then with the fact that it only has 20 rounds in a clip, pretty much the attachment that you have to have on this gun is extended mags, unless you're wanting to reload every 2 seconds or something. And then normally I would say quick draw, but one thing that I've noticed in Call of Duty World War II is that quick draw just barely makes you bring your gun up faster. It's not a huge difference like in other Call of Duties. It's a very small difference. So I've just kind of said screw it on quick draw unless they update it at some point later on. So for the third attachment, because this is an infantry division, so more than likely you will have at least 3 attachments on this gun. For the third attachment that I would recommend is either hollow point rounds or steady aim, so that way you can just hip fire the thing when you're up close. Those both worked out real good for me. You could either get a little bit quicker of a kill with the hollow point rounds doing more damage to a headshot, or you could just not even have to aim at point blank, because again, it melts people up close. And really, that's all for the BAR today. Comment down below what y'all think about the BAR and what attachments y'all prefer to have on there. I'd like to know if there's anybody that likes to use any obscure stuff on there or something, or maybe use some sights or something. So just let me know. And if you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon, so that way you can get notifications whenever I come out with another Call of Duty World War II weapon history. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.